the annual Sessional GP training updates in 2017. For that recognition and for this platform, we are most grateful. Things have changed monumentally since the Sessional Committee was first set up nearly 3 decades ago in 1997. At that time, Sessional GPs were seen and made to feel like a minority, almost an anomaly, defined by what they were not rather than who they were and who they represented. Sessional GPs now make up an increasing proportion of GPs across all 4 nations and are the majority group in England. We have Sessional GPs chairing national committees and conferences, working as LMC chief executives and medical directors, and delivering patient care in general practice across the whole of the UK. We see ourselves as a committee that endeavours to represent its constituents across the 4 nations, linking in with other committees in the BMA, including the national, UK-wide and GP trainings committees. We have regular catch-ups with the national executive teams and chairs, highlighting areas of mutual interest and priority. Parity of esteem and resourcing are key tools in helping to unlock a joined-up approach that best serves our profession as a whole, rather than defaulting to siloed and outdated ways of working that serve little to no one's interest in the longer term. Importantly, in the current deed of grant negotiations, both the GPDF and the BMA are keen to ensure that a pan-GP branch of practice approach is taken, and that the needs of all the GP communities are taken into consideration. We give personal thanks to the GPDF for appointing me as sessional co-chair as one of the GPDF negotiators. Bethan and I were elected in July last year, having been members of our local LMCs and national GP committee going back nearly a decade. We were lucky enough to attend LMC conferences as trainees. We had the opportunity to witness debates firsthand, deepening our understanding of the challenges that we face. We built friendships and networks, and today we stand here as co-chairs. This would not have been possible without the opportunity we had to join in LMC conference in our LMCs. We know that as LMCs, many of you do encourage and engage with first-time attendees, trainees and sessional GPs. This is invaluable in succession planning and in helping to create and maintain a pipeline for our future GPs from all backgrounds. When we stood for election, we were motivated to highlight the commonalities between GPs at a time when unity and cohesion is of utmost importance. Our vision is to create a strong committee pulling together in the same direction. We believe that together we are stronger. We started our co-working as chair and deputy chair of the GP Trainings Committee. One of our most memorable meetings was in 2016, when our agenda was derailed by the announcement of the junior doctor's contract imposition mid-meeting. For some of us in GP, this is now Groundhog Day on repeat. It's apt, therefore, that we stand again together at a time when GP as a profession faces increasing uncertainty and is at a crossroads to determine its future. This challenge is not new and cuts across contractual status and national borders. As a UK committee representing sessional GPs, we firmly believe in listening to and advocating on behalf of the people that we represent. This includes having meaningful input that reflects the diversity of our constituents' needs in contract negotiations, influencing wider stakeholders and policy making. Building stronger relationships across the committees and creating organisational structures that support this are key. The principles of self-determination, autonomy and the desire to be valued resonate with all of us. We know that our members want to be actively valued and remunerated for the work that they do. We would like their expertise and contributions to be recognised, and this has guided our focus and work streams. We are committed to developing work that will be useful and practical for the thousands of constituents we represent across all 4 nations, ranging from guidance, toolkits and apps. Our focus is on our membership helping to guide our path. The Sessional Committee has undertaken work looking at the structure of sessional pay and how we can shape it. Structure of sessional pay and performed an extensive survey last year to help inform this. Deputy Chair Vino Suri has taken the lead on DGRB, exploring how sessional GPs can best operate its framework, given the outdated pay ranges and below inflation uplifts. This is occurring against a wider backdrop of discussion with the national committees, as well as the satisfaction of the DDRB, most recently demonstrated with the BMA completely withdrawing in protest from the process earlier this year. It is vital as a committee that we reflect on the past, but that we look to the future and how we can shape it. We are acutely aware that the gender pay gap in GP is the largest in medicine, and we have made an unwavering commitment to investigate and outline pay frameworks that help to address the structural factors that perpetuate this, given the demographics of our profession and the need to support equity. If we are to retain and future-proof our profession, it must be for the many, not just for the few. The agenda of these 2 days tells our stories, one of increasing workload, never-ending demand, and the hemorrhaging of GPs. We welcome the debate on the model contract and have been exploring this more fully as part of our pay strategy preparation. We are aware that in practice, the model contract provides a mutually useful framework for employers and employees. These protections, however, do not exist in newer organisational GP roles. The lack of safeguards and protections exposes all GPs, not just sessional. We are grateful to being given 2 motions to respond to. However, we'd like to make a plea for the LMCs. As the representatives of all GPs, we would value the submissions of more sessional-focused motions, please, for the LMC UK and national conferences. We need to be debating and hearing these issues, to develop policies and to hear what our membership and the wider profession need. A recurrent theme is one of workload. We can no longer operate without protections or boundaries that help to preserve our well-being. We are keen to provide tools for our members, empowering them to negotiate better and more sustainable working for themselves and their colleagues. A workload control toolkit is being developed to help sessional GPs maintain job satisfaction, be retained in the workforce, and ensure safe working that is recognised, acknowledged and valued. We've worked jointly with the GPC England exec team to provide a sessional perspective into the recently published safe working guidance. GPs are pluripotent. We can operate and thrive, or perhaps just about survive, in different environments. This is a skill to be celebrated, with the respect and parity of esteem of all GPs crucial to our sustainability as a profession. We've seen the knock-on effect of allowing our herd immunity to be breached. It is a privilege to deliver this report at LMC UK conference, but it gives us great pleasure to inform you that in September we will be having our own sessional conference after a 2-long-decade hiatus. It is timely given recent proclamations, and we hope to empower and inspire sessional GPs in helping to make their working lives better. Next month brings our Sessional GP Week, with widespread comms and social media presence to raise the profile of the committee. There will be multiple highlights, including the sharing of guidance, resources and support that have been developed by our representatives and staff that members can access. We would like to end with some thank yous. Thank you to our trailblazing predecessors who worked hard to lay the foundation and build upon foundations of the Sessional Committee, helping to raise its profile and achieve wide-reaching impact. Vicky Weeks, Zoe Norris, Ben Molyneux. We pass our sincere thanks on to you for skillfully navigating the committee through challenging and choppy waters. Although we are not where we need to be, thanks to your efforts, we are much further up the hill, and the uphill climb less steep. We'd also like to thank the hard-working BMA staff team that support us as a committee and co-chairs: Amy Bolton, Lily Katecha, Sean Goff and Lawrence Bunch. And now we come to the end of our report, but perhaps the start of things to come. We're in the midst of the consultants' ballot and have witnessed the juniors voicing their dissatisfaction over the previous few months. As GPs, we will need to be united in our purpose, our messaging and our aims across locums, salary and principles for success to be realised in helping to protect and retain our diverse workforce within general practice.